Today we're going to be following the career of the greatest defensive tackle ever. To do that, we had to create Dexter Jones, a defensive tackle made up of all of the best ratings from each defensive tackle and 3-4 end in the league, and we'll show you exactly where all of these ratings came from right now. For speed, Adetomiwa Adebawore. For strength, Dexter Lawrence. For agility, Ed Oliver. For acceleration, Adebawore. For awareness, Chris Jones. For jumping, technically Al Woods because he's a higher overall, but come on, just give it to him. For tackle, it's Matabike. For hit power, it's Cameron Hayward, who I'm going to have to actually edit. For power move, it's Chris Jones. For finesse move, it's Chris Jones. For block shed, it's Cameron Hayward. For pursuit, it's Chris Jones. For LARAC, it's Dexter Lawrence. For impact blocking, it is Linval Joseph. For stamina, it's Christian Wilkins at 89. For injury, it is Deron Payne. For toughness, it's Vita Vea. The result of the season is the Eagles winning by 2 over the Chiefs, so we're actually on as of right now. Of course, Chris Jones, kind of the number 1 DT in the league right now. It's kind of crazy, though, as if Aaron Donald didn't retire, the point of this video would be no point, because it would just be Aaron Donald. I remember, before he retired final year in Madden, he was literally like 99 everything. He was basically 99 everything. The only thing he wouldn't have is speed and excel, which even then, for the average player, he would still have them beat. So, kind of crazy there. But let's get into this draft where the Chiefs have no money. They're trying to make it happen final season, but let's see where Mr. Dexter Jones, I should say, ends up going. And here he is to the Miami Dolphins. Dexter Jones joining a damn good team. This could actually be like a really successful one for a defender. I was kind of hoping he would go to Cleveland, though. Was that boos? Thought I heard booing. I don't know, but Dexter Jones is going to be joining the Miami Dolphins. Big fella. This is a 3-4, so it's a little questionable on should we keep him actually at DT or not. I mean, he is a rather big dude, 6'5", 300 pounds. Could play as nose tackle if he had to, but probably fits a little bit less as a nose tackle. So we'll kind of see what the numbers are looking like early on, but I don't want to change anything until we have to. We also have, the end of the draft. Let's go see what the Dolphins are able to muster up besides just Dexter Jones. And once again, that offense is solid. The defense is not far off either. As far as like a top 5, top 10 pick goes, this is not a bad place to be. AFC's a little tough, but I think Dexter Jones has found himself a damn good team. Let's take a look at what those Miami Dolphins were able to cook up past that first round. The second round, they go with their safety, Malachi Starks, who's obviously a goon safety with speed. And then you have Xavier Scott in the 4th round, another hidden dev type of player. They landed themselves a very solid draft class for that defensive side of the ball, without a doubt. Let's take a look, though, at Dexter Jones on paper. It's one thing to see it in like the scouting and all that, but to actually see it, in action. I mean, 98 power move, 94 block shed, 90 finesse, 99 strength. He's solid. He's insane. And then, of course, the big thing that makes him crazy is that speed. 89 speed, 92 excel at 6'5", 300 pounds. Just ridiculous. Super talented, and can't wait to see what kind of season and, career he puts up. Maybe finish greatest ever. Not a huge fan of the overall of the team, but as far as, some of the skill positions and whatnot, it does look like a good squad. We're going to rock that 3-4 and just see what happens, but it might need to change. We'll see what, we need to do. But for now, promising looking. Dexter Jones, Rookie of the Year potentially. Let's see it. Also, I've seen a few of you guys actually say do best kicker. Are we actually doing best kicker? I'm not doing best punter, I'll tell you that much. But best kicker, are we? Are we really doing that? I think we could definitely do safety, maybe fullback, but are we really doing kicker? Let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, maybe leave a like if you end up enjoying the video. And if you're brand new to the channel, or you've been watching for a bit but haven't subscribed, maybe think about subscribing. As we can see here, we are a 4-3 Dolphins team. Interesting. And even though it's a little iffy start, a really good finish at 11-6. Let's take a look now at the actual season itself. Loss to the Jets, loss to the Bills, loss to the Jaguars, loss to the Bengals, loss to the Ravens, loss to the Jets. Jets are just goated apparently, but let's take a look now at the stats and awards. How did Dexter Jones, I'm going to keep messing it up, how did he fare? Not offense, didn't really look that good. Dexter Jones as a nose tackle, rookie, mind you, just put up 15 sacks, 17 tackles for a loss with, I mean, obviously 0 interceptions, but that is a good chance to win Rookie of the Year. There's even a chance, a slight one, a Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, number 2, right behind, well, Chris himself, of course. Father Chris. But yeah, obviously Rookie of the Year is going to be won there. What a damn year. One big problem, though, we talked about already, or we showed, is that it might be a little bit tough to get best D-line because you're physically going against Chris Jones here. But promising start to the career. 15 sacks as a rookie is awesome. I really wonder if he would have done more as a D-end, but I'm not going to complain. 15 sacks is tough for really any D-line these days. And there you go. The Texans, we won against them. Now it's against the Chiefs, however. And kind of as expected, we do lose. The Chiefs are they're the Chiefs. They're the Chiefs in sim for a reason. Let's actually take a look, though, at how these games played. Where the hell even are we? There we are. See if Dexter put up some numbers in his first year in the playoffs. I see 3 sacks for somebody's Bradley Chubb. Damn, I thought that was going to be our guy, Dexter. But instead, it's just a different Dolphins player. Then we go to the divisional round where we'll lose, but oh wow, we only lost by 2. But we'll see that Dexter killed it or something. I don't see anyone just yet. Chris Jones killed it, but yeah, no playoffs. We've been seeing that in these kind of following the career videos lately, where it's just the playoffs that come around and these guys just do nothing. And at pick 28, they actually did a really good job. They got 570 overalls, one of them being a wide receivers. Not really sure that's the biggest need right now for the team. They got a right guard in the center. Definitely some of the big needs on this team. O-line is really troublesome. Running back, absolutely not a problem. And then another wide receiver. So while they got 570 pluses, you could argue that 3 of them they didn't need. And a massive letdown as the team goes 7-10, missing the playoffs entirely. The Miami Dolphins offensive scheme really isn't even that bad. I've actually used it a couple of times when doing rebuilds, and they've gotten me some playoff seasons, but not here for the Dolphins themselves. Good thing, though, is Dexter Jones doesn't seem to care. 15 tackles for loss, 17.5 sacks. I do want to take a look across the league and see if there's any actual DTs, like maybe Chris Jones playing in a 4-3 that is putting up better numbers, but considering I don't see him here, I'm going to go on a limb and say, the scheme isn't really that big of a deal, right? 10 sacks for Chris Jones, who is a 95 overall, playing in an actual 4-3 defense. That's got to tell me that, hey, it doesn't really matter if it's 3-4 or 4-3. The numbers are pretty fair. They're pretty fair. 17.5 sacks is really good. So, maybe even Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think so, though, because I thought I saw TJ on there, and I did. Dexter's all the way down to 3 behind even Max Crosby. But both those guys are actually linebackers, aren't they? Yes, Dexter Jones will win Best D-Line because of them being linebackers. So fair enough, he still wins an award. And at pick 11, they end up with a left end, a free safety, and a left guard. I feel like a little more heavier on that O-line, and, maybe you can get somewhere. But, 370 pluses, can't go wrong. Ooh, 8-9, another missed playoff season. Let's take a look at those numbers. Dexter Jones has been pretty damn good to this point, and he will continue as he is only getting better. I'm not sure what the ceiling looks like for somebody that's now got 19 sacks, but he has still arguably not reached it. 15.5 into 17.5 into 19? These seasons are kind of crazy. He's zooming along. He does not care. Defensive Player of the Year is obtainable, but not going to happen. Jonathan Elam, is this not like a rookie? I'm so confused. Who is this? Who actually is this guy? There's no way a rookie just did this. Tell me he's at least like an edge rusher, not like a pure DT. What the hell? Elam, the DT, is a 1-year player. 18.5 sacks, a little bit more tackles for loss. An X factor in his own right. Gonna be giving us, he's gonna give us a run in Dexter Jones's video. This is bull crap. And we can't even make the argument about, it's a 3-4. He's in the 3-4 too. Pick 15, another 3+, 70+ overall team, our draft class. 76 corner for Brett Johnson, I would imagine. Right, Jalen Ramsey's got to be getting there, if not already, below 90 by now. A center. And then a wide receiver. Of course, Tyreek Hill at this point is probably also pretty low. You have Roland Payton as kind of a gem pick a little bit later as well. I feel like linebacker, though, probably is a little bit higher of a needs list, unless they've been killing it in the offseason with free agency. But at least they're hitting, those 70 pluses pretty well. And I was about to say, I thought it was a playoff miss just based on the fact that we didn't have a game and it's been back-to-back, years like that. I was like, Dexter's probably got to just ignore the money as much as it's going to be impossible and just find a new team. But no, the Dolphins have done it. They're the #1 seed in the playoffs, giving them a bye week in the wild card round. Obviously, losing to the Jets, Ravens, and Patriots in the first 4 weeks, and then just not losing for the rest of the year, which is really, really impressive. To have that kind of turnaround is just so hard to do. Let's take a look at those numbers, though, see if Dexter was somehow able to improve. And he was. He went from 19 sacks to 19.5. The tackles for a loss, weirdly, have been going down, which I really don't understand. It seems really strange, but at the end of the day, still higher and higher sacks each year. Unfortunately, though, Elam looks like he might be the guy. He might be the guy that's going to steal the thunder. That's kind of crazy, though. Like, how is it even possible? I hope Elam gets traded or something. How in the same freaking realm is there another DT that's just as good? Like, how is this even possible? The dude's already a 99 overall himself almost, and he's nowhere near as fast. But the Raiders, speaking of, can we at least beat them? Make me feel a little bit better, as we do, thankfully. Winner of this game against the division rival Bills goes to the Super Bowl, which it's us. Early on, year 4 now, I believe, for Dexter Jones, and he is about to play in a Super Bowl. This is a great start. Going against the New York Giants, this is winnable. This is absolutely winnable. Will they? I don't know, but this is definitely obtainable for him to win a Super Bowl ring already. One can only hope. Right to left is New York, I believe. They fail to score, but they are moving the ball way easier than us. This defense from Miami is the only thing keeping them in it, as right now, their offense looks terrible. 3-10. It's just a terrible looking offense. Like, this is absurd. This is the type of game that would make you not want to return. Imagine your offense, which is what Miami's supposed to be known for, only puts up 3 while the defense has an unbelievable game in all consideration, and you lose that way. That would be devastating. Tua was horrible. 50% completion percentage, 153 yards, 0 touchdowns with a pick. Rushing was awful. Wan'Dale Robinson was the best receiver on the field. That's just crazy. Like, that's just genuinely insane. Of course, Dexter Jones did nothing, though. Really, that's just a disappointment. We don't see Super Bowls that often in these. 1 or 2 a simulation, a video for lucky, and, there's one right there. So, he might not see a Super Bowl ever again, and that's how we lose. We lose 3-20. It wasn't even close. Oh my God, I get they had pick 31, but this draft was terrible. 71 overall into a 65 and another 65. Take away a running back, which are normally like in the 70s by default, who's only 69, and you have another 65, 64, and 64. An absolutely horrendous draft for a team that finished in an absolutely horrendous way. Ooh, back in the playoffs, but at 9-8, definitely not what we would expect after going to the Super Bowl on a 14-3 bye-week induced season. Looking at the defense, though, Dexter Jones with a huge drop-off, but where the sacks go, the tackles for a loss follow. So very strange stuff as usual, but definitely not going to be winning any awards this time around. I kind of want to see where that ranks him, though. You can see even the Raiders, Elam has dropped off very hard, even lower than Dexter Jones, so definitely a weird season in that regard. Best D-line puts us just outside the top 3 at 5. Slightly just outside. The Jets killing it right now. Quentin Williams having a good season. But more importantly, postseason success. There's a chance at another run. It's going to be a long shot, but there is still a chance. Once you're in the playoffs, all that matters. We just took down a really good Bengals team, but now we have a really good Jets team right in front of us as well. Beat them as well. Of course, 10-7, more on our level. This will be the team we lose to, obviously. It's just bound to happen. Bound, but won't. As they are headed back to the Super Bowl. There was a chance here at back-to-back Super Bowls. Not going to happen, but hey, another chance to win one. Let's see it. Here we go. End of the game. Carolina scores 3. Miami scores 7. Already more than last year. Okay, promising. 10-3. Much better. Did they fire the OC? Maybe it's 10 all. Huge drive. Didn't happen. 17-10. Defense doing its job. 14-point lead. It's a 7-point lead now. Back to 14. Carolina won't go away, but it's too late. 21-17. Dexter Jones, already a Super Bowl champion. The Miami Dolphins winning it all. And that's what I'm talking about right there. A Super Bowl victory at 9-8, mind you. Trying to see if I can find Dexter Jones in this madness, and I cannot. Of course, an 11.5 sack season. Of course, he could have some decent numbers in the other playoff games, but I am curious to see if he actually did something this time in the Super Bowl. But there you go with the podium, the champions of the NFL world. I don't see Jones anywhere, though. I do not see Dexter at all. But regardless, despite Mike needing a new hoodie, new jacket, they've won. Defense causing Temple to throw 2 interceptions. I really like that name, by the way. 2 interceptions. Pass rush-wise, still just not seeing it. A half sack from Dexter Jones. Maybe they're just double-teaming him because, I mean, you look at the pass rush that they had, though. But you look at the team that we have here, and, I mean, who is the guy? Chop? Like, what are you going to double-team Chop? If you're going to double-team anyone, it's going to be Dexter, obviously. They have, there's not really much going on elsewise. And I'm pretty sure Marist is actually starting. So, he got an interception, but as far as a pass rusher goes, that is bad. And we'll show you the win-loss. I mean, it is a little more interesting to see a Super Bowl win, so obviously there is sort of an incentive to want that Super Bowl. But let's take a look, though, now at if he's even going to be here. As obviously this would have been, I believe, his 5th-year option season. Maybe they just straight up re-signed him, but most teams do use the 5th-year option in Sim. I mean, in real life they do it too, to be fair, but still in Sim. So I'm not expecting him to be gone, but he could be. There is a possibility. And Jones is here. I have no idea what kind of contract that looks like. About a 4 in my book. 93 mil penalty tells me, nah, it's probably about a 5 actually. Let's see. Is he going to be here till 31? Would love to see him in a 4-3, but at the same time, he's still doing well as is. It is a 5-year deal, 4-year deal? 4-year deal, I believe. 5-year with a 5th-year option. So 4 years, be here till at least 30. And the 32nd pick isn't not much better than last year's. You get a 72 overall tackle, which they desperately need, but then a 75 overall running back. I will admit I haven't actually looked at the running back room in a while, but I still can't imagine this team is in a late 2nd-round pick running back need situation. But let's take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't see it. I just don't. 93 overall, he's got to be 28. Yeah, I mean, you still get at least 2 years out of a minimum. Is a late 2nd-round pick really needed at running back when you could easily use a new left tackle? I mean, Jones here is obviously not going up much higher than this. He's 31 years old already. So, yeah, definitely could have used a left tackle. Wide receiver, not far off of needing that either. And then looking at the defensive side of the ball, you need multiple middle linebackers. An actual edge rusher would help over Luafau. Maybe a corner, but sure, whatever. We won a Super Bowl, so I'm not gonna hate the judge. Well, I mean, I'm gonna hate, but I'm not going to judge too hard, I guess, kind of. I'm judging pretty damn hard regardless. We're in the playoffs, 10-7, but we are facing the Chiefs right away, so there's a chance that it's, done and dusted immediately. But 3, straight Super Bowls would be on the table. Dexter, obviously not winning them, but, going to 3 of them. Dexter Jones back in the top tier sack numbers, 16 sacks is, I'm not saying double-digit sacks is easy, but it's like double-digit sacks, you're like, okay, I can see it, but 15 plus, that's when you're like, okay, this guy is truly good. Noah Robinson, speaking of truly good, he is. Still, no defensive player of the year. At least Elam's worse than our guys, so, we got something going on for ourselves, but yeah, fair enough. Let's go into this playoff, see if we can get ourselves another Super Bowl. Obviously, we're not going to actually go in if we go to another Super Bowl, but this Dolphins team has been pretty promising as they beat the Chiefs going against the Bengals. They were a better team last year and we beat them. Are we going to do it again? This Dolphins team! Come on, the Jets, the division rivals, you have to. Did they? Damn, this team's going back to the Super Bowl for 3 straight years! Dynasty worthy. Who is it against? The Niners. That's a good team, though. Let's see it. That's a good team. Come on, Miami. Let it be known. If we even get, man, they're rigging in behind the scenes here. Obviously, they're rigging it. No, a huge loss, 35-14. It wasn't even relatively close at that point. Oh, no, 9-8, and they did us dirty. Wow, okay, back to Tua doing what Tua does. Damn, son. What about the sacks? 2 for Scorton, I believe. Ooh-wee, that is unfortunate. So 3 straight Super Bowl trips, losing 2 of them. That is a painful one to swallow. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, give it up to the Dolphins, allowing one of these defensive fall in the career videos to actually, have a lot of Super Bowl success. I mean, you haven't won them all, but getting to 3 in a row is pretty awesome. That would be a lot of fun. It'd be disappointing. You want to go at least over 500, but hey, it's still a lot of fun. Back into the draft, they do go tackle, which we kind of talked about them needing. Wide receiver kind of needing that, and corner. I mean, you can never have enough corners, it seems. Meekins, the left tackle, is he at least hidden? He is. We're in the playoffs, 11-6. The Miami Dolphins are back, baby. Let's take a look at how the season went. We don't care about the offense, let's be real. Dexter Jones, he did finally, maybe not really finally, but it's been a little while since he had a season where the sacks and the tackles for loss were kind of high. 18 tackles for loss with 16 sacks. He had a forced fumble and 2 recoveries. Nothing else, no touchdowns or anything like that. Still could be enough. As Rashard Temple, I should say, won MVP of the league. And Dexter Jones wins his first Defensive Player of the Year award win, which obviously means he's going to also win Best D-line. It's kind of how that works. If you're the best defensive player, you're also going to be the best at your respective position. I don't know how it would make any sense if it wasn't. But let's take a look at if this team could go any further. It'd be awesome to have a year like that where you win Defensive Player of the Year and a Super Bowl, but yeah, didn't really happen, unfortunately. Let's take a look. Did he at least play well here? Not did he. Sacks, as usual, just, well, I guess 2 tackles for loss, but basically irrelevant in the playoffs, unfortunately. 370-plus overalls, with 2 of them being 74, 23 in the first round. Normal dev is kind of what you're going to get when you're looking for these edge rushers, but this guy has a lot of potential, so that's a really good draft pick, normal or not. 6'5", 247, 21 years old, a lot of speed, good finesse, and block shed. This will be a guy that develops nicely, I think. 6-11, missing the playoffs entirely. I do not like to see that. Oh my god, they need to replace Tua bad. Dexter Jones, a similar season to last year, so there is a chance that the man could be Defensive Player of the Year again. We'll see if that is the case. Temple wins his award as well, and it's going to be back to Elam, unfortunately. We're number 3 with Dexter, but Elam, nowhere near the legacy score at the moment, though, so I'm feeling fine about that. Elam's only like a year or 2 removed from Dexter Jones's starting point, so fair enough. One more year, though, where he's guaranteed to be a Dolphin. Could be on his way out afterwards. Not sure if that's going to be the case because they do have a lot of money, but maybe they spend a lot of money here, don't have enough money next year, and then he's on the move. I would be interested to see him join an actual 4-3 team, but there's a chance that he joins another 3-4. So whatever happens, happens. The Dolphins did get him a couple of Super Bowl trips, got him a Super Bowl win, but at the end of the day, it's a business on both ends, so do what's best for him, do what's best for the team, for their side. Whatever happens, happens. But, yeah, we're on to one more season in the Dolphins, and then we'll see what happens after that. And with pick 7 overall, we have 75, 75, 73, 71. You got a wide receiver, but the rest are all defense. 2 of them DTs. Looks like they're gearing up to replace Dexter. Hey, back at the playoffs with a brand new quarterback. I took a sneak peek. We have a different one, Robbie O'Neal. Different quarterbacks, same kind of result. Dexter Jones with arguably his best season yet. 22 tackles for a loss, 20 sacks. I almost don't want him to leave because he is, for a defensive tackle, especially a nose tackle technically, he is killing it. Look at these years. These are insane. Best year by a mile. Actually reached the 20 sack mark and 22 tackles for a loss in the same year. If that's not Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know what is. Well, I guess DeMario Rodgers and Lindsey Campbell can answer that for you. 29,000 legacy score, by the way. Unbelievable. Just, really hasn't won a whole lot of Player of the Year awards, which, I feel like that was one of them, and he just somehow didn't win it. Those guys just killed it, I guess, and there we go. Losing round 1. Let's take a look at, how he played. Did he have a good game? Like, we haven't seen him have a singular good game in the playoffs. Josh Allen's a Chief, okay. Any seasons where he just wants to have a sack or two. Like, I've not seen him do anything in the playoffs. How? Oh, Dexter Jones is no longer a Dolphin. He went to a different bird on the opposite conference. But the big thing is, he is actually in a 4-3. I know the Eagles have a slight different scheme in game because of Hassan Reddick for a while, but I don't know if that's still the case in game or not. Also, look at this. They're the same age. So, maybe they aren't different years. It's actually the same year. So, Dexter Jones is kind of killing it. Give him some credit. But yeah, we're headed to Philly. And we see a team also that's very heavily investing into their defense. Oh, and the team still has Jalen Carter. This is a fierce-looking D-line. Let's take a look at the offense. Looks like normal dev from Mr. Turner. What is his... He's only 24, so they do have an up-and-coming quarterback that just needs, a little bit of juice. Might need a different scheme because obviously they're going to be focused on, Jalen Hurts can run. Well, it's not Jalen Hurts anymore. Tyler Harper, an X-Factor running back that once upon a time was probably really good, but unfortunately regressed really hard. Some okay wide receivers, but definitely on the older side for Stewart, I imagine. 30 years old. Offensive line, what state are we looking at here? I mean, they're okay. What is Harris? Is he young? 29 years old, not really, to be real. Let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball, see what Dexter will have as teammates. We, of course, know... Oh, my God. Wait, this is a 3-4 all of a sudden. What do you mean? This team doesn't have a 3-4. It's a 4-3. Look at the talent here. Greg Rousseau. Fisk. Jalen Carter is, he's a... 16 points for Dexter. That's kind of crazy. He's never retiring. He's a pretty fast dude. He could play edge if he had to. I'm changing to a 4-3. I don't care. This is not a team that is built for a 3-4. Greg Rousseau is not an interior rusher. Come on now. And we join a team here that is 12-5. So definitely not a bad destination. Turner looking really good. Come on, Dexter. Damn, so I guess the 3-4 wasn't so bad after all. Because it's now in the 4-3. I don't know why I looked at interceptions like Dexter was going to have some. But yeah, not going to be a... I would imagine at least not going to be a Defensive Player of the Year type of season, but still a good one. Temple is going to retire the greatest ever. He's won like 4 MVPs in a row, I think. What is going on? Wow, Dexter drops to 8th. NFC's kind of strong for the D-line as well. Whoops. Not that whatever. The Cardinals, let's see, 12-5 versus a 9-8 team. Wins the first game. Okay, going against the Lions, similar rating in overall. Wins that, and then here's Dallas. This is a real tough one. Into the Super Bowl if you win it, and unfortunately lost, as you could tell, and it's not going to show it for some reason. Could tell because the contract extension happened. There was a chance. Imagine Dexter winning a Super Bowl on 2 different teams, especially when, he just joins the team. Didn't happen, though. This team's also really freaking broke. Wow, this draft really sucks. The only player they got was a quarterback that, unless they couldn't afford the guy they had, they don't even need. So, I'm not really sure about this draft. Didn't really bolster the roster like they were probably hoping. But yeah, maybe they just couldn't afford the QB because obviously up against it, this team is broke as hell. Let's see if they actually did lose the QB. No, he's also a star dev. He's even better than before. What is happening? Why would they go QB? Unless he needs a contract like this next season, maybe. But even then, it feels like a reach. Well, I guess it is pretty late. Pick 30, maybe the value is there. I'm not sure, but I don't see it. Could have definitely went like wide receiver or something. And then missing the playoffs. It's crazy. How can you go from like a game away to the Super Bowl to missing the playoffs entirely? I guess Turner did have a bad year. Where's Jones? Oh my God, we had a terrible season again out of nowhere. Why? Why does this happen randomly? Like 4 sacks, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, why? And because of a season like that, with regression being turned on, dev regression being turned on, literally at age 30, Dexter Jones, now at 31, is a superstar dev. He's dropped down, which, arguably fitting because that was a horrible season. I don't know why. That happened in our edge rusher one as well, where just randomly... just a terrible season out of nowhere, and then afterwards, you never look back. So hopefully that happens here again. I'm not really sure why that is, but I suppose, maybe that's just randomly coded, because I will say that does happen in real life very often, actually. So Maybe that's just kind of like a realism, thing that they put into the game, which, how much is that in the game? Cornerback at pick 11, really good overall. Bibbs, a left end, and then Tyler Collins, the tight end. I mean, they're good players. I still think they need a wide receiver, but sure, they're adding new talent. Oh, here we are in the playoffs at 13-4. Temple's still at the top of the list. I don't think he's going to win MVP, though. Those numbers look pretty weak. Come on, Dex. There you go. I don't know why that happens. Once again, happened in our edge one as well, but 17 tackles for a loss, 21.5 sacks. Probably his second best season, especially with all the fumbles he recovered and forced. Will it be enough for Defensive Player of the Year, though? It will. There you go. Another win. He might retire almost all time for legacy score for a defender. Let's take a look, see if he wins a Super Bowl with the Eagles or not. Get that bye week so you don't have to play that first round. Another bird. By the way, I know what I meant, all right? We lost to the Seahawks, which sucks, but I think when we went for the Dolphins and the Eagles, I said going to another bird, didn't I? I don't think a Dolphin's got wings, man. But anyways, let's take a look, see if Dexter did anything in the playoffs. Come on, just once. Okay, you got a sack, that's something. It's something, damn it. Oh, and he forced the fumble. Okay, and he recovered 2 fumbles. Okay, it got even better as we kept going. That's the type of game I've been looking for. That is like I'm going to carry this game type of game, and the team just let him down. With pick 28, they get 2 70-plus overalls, one of them being a lineman, one of them being a wide receiver. And Walker is a massive 6'8" hidden dev player. And also, of course, as expected, Dexter Jones returns to Superstar X Factor. Jones down to his 8th upgrade point over 99. What is his speed? Oh, his speed has regressed hard. He's basically now Jalen Carter, ironically enough, but obviously still really, really good. That speed, though, they keep hitting that hard. This one only 1 speed, but I'd imagine previous years a lot, because he was like, 89? But still very fast. One of the fastest, if not the fastest DT in the league, especially at that size. And we continue to move. And here we are at 8 and 9. Let's take a look at those numbers. 12 sacks for Dexter Jones. Yeah, I gotta say, being in a 3-4 defense would definitely have been better off. So there's no excuses. It's not like, we made a mistake. There's maybe some mistakes in that edge rusher one, but this one we gave, he had a chance at both, a 4-3 and a 3-4, and 3-4 definitely seems to have treated him better, unless it's just an age thing, which I do think in our other ones, as they got older, they did, even though their overalls were still great, their ratings were still great, they were slowing down, in my opinion. Might have just been coincidence, I don't know, but they definitely looked like they were like 10 to 20% worse off as they got into that 32 range, so we'll see what happens. Definitely got to pay attention, though, to the career stats, as he's 33. We've seen 34 retirements. We've seen, before the 35 range. I would just hope that 35, 36 would be like kind of the baseline retirement rather than, losing someone at 34 or before, because, that kind of sucks. Like, I'm not expecting that, and you're kind of throwing that at me. He still has 7 upgrade points, so once again, another guy that's probably going to retire as a 99 overall. But let's take a quick look, as you never know what's going to happen. Actually, let's not. Let's wait until the season's over, because we at least know he's playing another season, right? So let's simulate the draft. He's still here in Philadelphia. Probably going to retire here as well. Oh, wow. This is a crazy draft. They drafted 6 70-plus overall players at pick 16 in each round. That's actually pretty damn impressive. They did well. All right, 7 and 10. Let's take a look at the stats. Really, it'd be nice if he actually maybe just left here, because they had that chance, but that chance seems to be long gone. I do not see Jones. Oh, here it is. 8 sacks, 17 tackles for a loss. He did get a safety, though, which is cool. That'll be on his career highlights. Not really looking at Defensive Player of the Year or D-Line of the Year, because those numbers are just not going to cut it, right? We've seen it early on where it was just, he was barely even in there when he had 16, 17, 18 sacks in a season. So maybe in the top 10, but that's probably about it. Really wonder how many Oh, no. Don't tell me he's going to retire. Watch him retire at 34, because I forgot about it. I had a chance to look before the season started at his career stats, and what did I do? I sold. Okay, we're at the re-sign, so if he did retire, it'd be Jover. We couldn't do it, but we could just count him, which, fair enough. Counting's not that hard. And he's still here. 210 sacks, 221 tackles for a loss, 9 forced fumbles, 10 recoveries, only 7 fumble return yards, which is kind of crazy. Less than a yard a return. 3 block kicks, and then, like we said, added that safety. Would have loved to see a defensive touchdown from him, but, you know, not everyone could be a happy person. 34 years old, still here. Let's take a look at his, kind of awards. He has 11 Pro Bowls. He led the league in sacks 1 time. He was the best defensive lineman of the year 3 times. He won Rookie of the Year, and he was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. So we obviously see, some of the GOATs, if you will, with higher than 2, best Defensive Player of the Year awards. But with the sacks as well, and a Super Bowl title, he's got to be pretty damn up there. I mean, we're a little early in this, but Aiden Hutchinson, who I imagine is probably gone, is at 232. So if Jones can play 2 seasons more, there is actually a legitimate chance that he does retire the number 1 sack leader. Like we said, I'm pretty damn sure Aiden Hutchinson's going to be gone, and if he's not, well, screw me, I guess. It's just not going to go well here. I don't see him, so I imagine he is gone, meaning the door is open. You just got to get through it. Or the window. I don't freaking know. Just get in, Come on, man. Wow. Okay, so this is a crazy draft pick. They took a linebacker, a middle linebacker who is only 5'11", only 85 speed at pick 7 overall. That's one of the highest middle linebacker choices I've seen in Madden, ever. But they landed an X Factor, so who am I to judge? They knew better than I did, I guess. An X Factor, especially, obviously a rookie, that is basically a guaranteed 90 overall in 2 seasons, which is, if you can guarantee that at pick 7, you're going to take it no matter really what the position is. Hey, back in the playoffs, maybe we spoke too soon. Not really, because our guy's, he's 34, so this is kind of the last run, potentially. Where the hell even is he at this rate? Hello, is he even on the team? Are we following it? The career of nobody? Is he gone? Wait, am I losing my mind? Is he actually... Did he retire? I'm just following nothing. He's not even here anymore. Where is he? He's on the Colts. Why are we still here? Okay, we're out of the Colts. I have no idea if they even made the playoffs. Yay! I do like the blue. It's pretty cool, but... Man, that's unfortunate. Let's see how he played at least. Let's take a look at that. 19 tackles were lost, 10 sacks. At least he's still in the double digits, barely, but let's take a look at, kind of what the landscape is looking like. Maybe he's not even on the list. Is he in the top 10 for he's number 9. He's still there, I suppose. There's a good chance that he does retire. He's 35 years old, or about to be 35, so there is a chance, so... We will take a look at those updated numbers real quick. So 220 sacks, 220 and a half sacks. So there's a chance if he played one more season that he would be able to become the number 1 all-time. I think he needs, 15, was it? I think Aiden was at 234, right? I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. We'll see if he actually sticks around or not. He's still going strong, but you can see he's barely keeping it along for those sack numbers, the double digits. He's kind of fallen off a little bit. He's probably going to have it under a double digit if he plays another season. All right, this is usually when you see it. Let's see if it happened. I don't know if I see him there. The Colts, and he does, man. We keep seeing it. I get it, that 35, 36-year-old cutoff point, 34 to 36, really, it's coded in the game to be like that, but at the same time, the man's in the 99 range still, but after 14 seasons, Dexter Jones might have retired the number 1 defensive tackle sacker, though. You got to remember, Aiden Hutchinson's an edge rusher, so it's insane that he's even, competing with him. You could argue he's the best DT ever because of that, but, even then, Aaron Donald with those Defensive Player of the Year award wins, pretty insane. Dexter Jones finishes 5th active all-time. I guess it's kind of irrelevant to say all time if we're talking about active. Did win a Super Bowl, though. Josh Allen didn't. There's that. What about Temple? How did he do? 3 Super Bowls. He did kind of retire almost the GOAT just because, all the MVPs he won and the Super Bowl titles to go with it. Aiden Hutchinson did not win one. Elam. So we're kind of paying attention to him and Elam. Elam with 5,000 less. Did also have a Super Bowl, but less championships, less yearly awards. And overall, it seems like Dexter Jones retires the greatest pass rusher of all time because he has a higher legacy score than Aiden as well, but could also argue because of that Super Bowl. I don't know how much legacy you get from a Super Bowl, but it's probably pretty high. And, Aiden did have a higher yearly awards total, but pure DT-wise, we can make the argument that he was the greatest ever, right? That's, I think, pretty safe to say. Aiden with 232. So one more year from Dexter, might have had a chance to go all-time. Unfortunately, that is not how it worked for him. He played quite a bit on the Dolphins. Did he retire? We have Dexter Jones, the number 1, 149 sacks as a Dolphin. And then we have Eagles, definitely not going to be there. But, yeah, I was still, just taking a look. What about the Dolphins? Any rookie season stuff? He had the most sacks for a rookie in Dolphins history as well, with 15 of them. Very impressive career, I would argue he did retire the greatest defensive tackle ever. Maybe that's just me, but 3 Super Bowl trips, a Super Bowl win, a bunch of Pro Bowls, a bunch of, best D linemen, a league leader in sacks, a bunch of maybe not a bunch, but 2 Defensive Player of the Year award wins, and then I would imagine retired the highest sack number DT of all time. That's pretty damn good, whether it's the greatest or not. But of course, if you guys want to see more of these, let me know in the comment section below which ones you want to see. We were, kind of talking about kicker, maybe. Safety, I think, probably will get one. And then possibly fullback. Could do O-line, but I think that's just completely irrelevant. If I do O-line, I'm probably going to, do that, and then it's going to suck, and I'm just going to delete it, because it's going to be like, hey, he's the greatest offensive lineman of all time. He only allowed 90 career sacks. What? Huh? He's a 99 overall X-Factor lineman as a rookie, and he gave up how many? Because that's what's going to happen. I don't know why that is. To be fair, we never actually tested a truly 99 overall. Well, not 99 overall, but very close to 99 overall everything when you compare all the different stats, because I would just do, left tackle all the way through right tackle, best at every rating. But yeah, I am imagining no matter what position they play, even center, they're going to at least give up 50 sacks in their career, which is nowhere near the greatest ever. So it's kind of irrelevant. But a fullback, maybe he's got some rushing numbers in there, maybe some insane, sack not allowed numbers, pancakes, whatever. But then safety for sure. Obviously, there's some interceptions, sacks, and all that stuff we could see. So definitely going to do a safety one, I imagine. But after that, that might be it. I don't think there's any other one. I guess kicker we were talking about. So safety and kicker possibly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for those ones. Unless there's something else people are thinking of. Got a couple of other ideas that we can follow the career of. So we'll definitely be on the shift to that potentially after this. Regardless, though, enough yapping. If you guys did enjoy, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel. Actual full-length franchise playthroughs, rebuilds, these type of kind of experiments and following the careers and whatnot. And then, of course, on the second channel, PK Plays, been doing a lot of non-Madden stuff, obviously. Been doing Black Ops 6 a bit. Zombies, campaign, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When the Indiana Jones game comes out, probably going to be playing that. Probably not going to do the 3-day early access thing. I'm not getting scammed again, dude. I did that for Starfield, and I was honestly overwhelmed by the game. I don't know, dude. There was just too much going on, and I mean, I've played games like that before, obviously kind of like Fallout and whatnot, but it was just too overwhelming to me. It was just like, I cannot. I need something a little more straightforward in my old age. Regardless, though, be on the lookout potentially for a rebuild tomorrow. And speaking of Black Ops 6, on the second channel, we'll have the Citadel de Moore map. We'll have a playthrough of that on there. Maybe even Terminus tonight. I might do the Easter egg for Terminus. We'll see. Should have seen a Saints video earlier today. And then, like I said, a rebuild tomorrow. Regardless, though, enough content for that. Hope you guys have a good one. Take care of yourselves and see ya. And as usual, shout out to the members of the channel. I really do appreciate you guys a ton. Once again, we'll have that exclusive members only rebuild on the 15th of December, and then the 15th going forward every month, even into like July, because I mean, it's, you guys are still members, it still counts, even if in July people are like, oh, Madden, I don't like it anymore. But yeah, and if you're not a member, click the join button next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there, and if you want to see that exclusive members rebuild that we'll have once a month going forward, and then maybe some more content as we expand potentially. Once again, gotta be careful with the whole like paywall stuff, because I don't know, there's other channels that are like, what do you mean? I don't care, most of the series are members only, and they actually do really well with thousands of members. I feel bad because it's like that's sort of selling out, yet it's working. Damn. Anyways, take care, see ya.